Hey guys, how's it going? Back here today with a somewhat of an impromptu video actually. This is a thread response to Mark from Wandering Souls Webzine. I just recently saw this actually today and I thought, oh great idea, I'm just going to jump on it straight away and answer it because it is an interesting topic and it resulted in me pulling out a lot of records from the collection, so I have a lot to show today. But first of all, let me just explain it. So this thread that Mark's created is called It Must Be Over the Rainbow, I think. So basically what that involves is showing some records with covers, records or CDs of albums with different colors of the rainbow. So like it's open to debate as to how many there are, 6 or 7. Like you have, let's see, red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, violet, or let's, for the last two, I'm just saying purple, like shades of purple, that's what they are to me. Who says indigo anyway? So anyway, I've got a few from each category, but quite a lot to show. And what I thought was cool about this is I like colorful album covers. A lot of stuff I show is black and white, obviously. Nothing wrong with that, but it's good to change it up. Also, I thought it was another good opportunity to showcase some things that I haven't shown on the channel yet, so you can see what's in store. Having said that, I'm not going to speak about these albums in a lot of detail because I have a lot to show, but you know, it's just a taster or a show and tell if you like, and some you've seen before as well. So we'll get straight into it then. So first color of the rainbow, red. So first album I'm going to show, Black Flag with Slip It In. So the punk band fronted by Henry Rollins for a time, and you see here the disc is red too, so that was an obvious choice, bright red. Okay. And also, yes, another one of the rules was you could have albums with names of the colors actually in the title. This one has the color and the name, so that's cool. This is Blood Red Throne with Affiliated with the Suffering. So obviously he's covered in shiny with red blood, and the band is called Blood Red Throne, so brutal death metal from Norway. I'm sure most people know this band. Fantastic. Okay. Now another album which contains the word red and features the color red as well. This is Cannibal Corpse with Red Before Black. So this was their second most recent album, which came out in 2018. I really like this cover. It's very iconic with the spraying blood and everything. I just wish they had made it a little bit brighter, you know, so everything stood out more strongly. But obviously, yeah, cool cover art, great band. This is one of their best in my opinion. Really enjoy this album. Just, you know, fine-tuned brutal death metal. So Cannibal Corpse with Red Before Black. Okay, now this album that I'm going to show next, another red album cover, I actually listened to this album just today because it recently marked its anniversary. This is Ramones with End of the Century. So yeah, just like the Black Flag one, a very red cover there. Sorry about the glare of this light. Yeah, and this is just a great, fun, catchy punk/punk pop album, I guess you could call it. And not like modern day whiny punk pop, but this was arguably the first punk band ever, depending on who you ask. So that's Ramones with End of the Century. Now I've got a couple of red covered records to show as well. So first of all, ANVIL with Hard and Heavy. I've always liked the color on this, just amazing, brilliant, iconic cover to a brilliant album. So like classic Canadian heavy metal. So ANVIL with Hard and Heavy. And the next red record I'm going to show, this is something a little bit different for me. This is SCREAMFEEDER with Kitten. So I'm sure most people are not familiar with this band. SCREAMFEEDER are an indie/alternative band from Australia, from Brisbane. And this was a band that I followed in my teen years, and they've always stuck by me because I think they have a unique sound, but I just like the deep, rich red color of that album. So if you like alternative music and something different, this might be worth checking out for you. So SCREAMFEEDER with Kitten. Okay, now we're getting up to orange. So I'll start with the CDs first of all. Okay, so first of all, Alice in Chains with Jar of Flies. Now, for those who know Alice in Chains, most of you, of course Dirt has an orange cover as well, but I just decided to go with this one because it's a lot brighter, you know, that color, and I like the richness of that orange color. Yeah, so this was their classic EP, Alice in Chains with Jar of Flies. Okay. Alright, now the next one, still going in the orange series, this is MESHUGGAH with Contradictions, Collapse and None. So MESHUGGAH, a Swedish band of course, and they've risen to like great heights of fame. Sort of, how do you call it? It used to be sort of death metal oriented, but then it became techno thrash, what they call as in very technical thrash, or I don't know, math rock? Yeah, but you know, like it's very technical with all these weird, interesting time signatures. Now, to be honest, I'm not the hugest fan of this band, but this was an album I bought back in the day. I like their more sort of melodic songs rather than the technical ones, but this album's got some great songs like, what's that song which I really like? Oh, well, Erroneous Manipulation is fantastic, but my favorite song on this is Ritual from the Nun EP, brilliant. So, MESHUGGAH with Contradictions, Collapse, and Nun. Okay, still going in the orange color now. Sepultura with Beneath the Remains. So, yep, this band needs no introduction. Classic Brazilian thrash metal, thrash death, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this was where the band really took off to another level, in my opinion. Like, just great album, so many good songs. You know, it features those ones like Inner Self, Mass Hypnosis, Stronger Than Hate. Yeah, just fantastic. All right. Now, still in the orange. Ooh, some glare there. Yep, orange album covers. So this is one I just showed recently, so I don't need to say too much. Dark Funeral with Diabolis, Interium. Brilliant album. As I said, this was my favorite Dark Funeral album until I heard Where Shadows Forever Reign. So this currently ranks in that number 2 for my Dark Funeral albums. Just classic Swedish black metal. But let's see, because their new album's coming out soon. So there you go. All right. Now, still in the orange here, we have Enthroned with the Apocalypse Manifesto. And I was thinking, is this a bit too far-fetched to be orange? But I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to showcase this album, because Enthroned are just a classic Belgian black metal band. I think they're really still criminally underrated, and this is a band that I've really enjoyed for, you know, over 20 years now. So I think it's just worth a mention. But yeah, brilliant album by this band, the Apocalypse Manifesto, sort of in the vein of aggressive black metal like Marduk, but crossed over with 80s thrash and 80s heavy metal. So that's Enthroned. All right. Now, getting into the color yellow. So I've gone through orange, so red, then orange. Now we're getting into yellow. This one's like a crossover between orange and yellow, so it's a good transition. NILE with Amongst the Catacombs of Nephren-Ka. This time I remembered to show the vinyl version. Like, I showed this in another thread on the CD, but obviously vinyl covers are more exciting. Oh, and that's another thing. In this video, I've tried to show vinyls where possible, just because it's more aesthetically pleasing, you know, with the color and the size and everything, since this is a rainbow topic. So yeah, but brilliant death metal, brutal death metal album with an Egyptian theme, of course, and this band has really become hugely popular. This one is still my favorite though, the debut. It's still got a lot of elements of grindcore, but just really aggressive, brutal. It's brilliant, and also atmospheric with elements of Middle Eastern music and keyboards and stuff. But yeah, love this band, love this album. NILE with Amongst the Catacombs of Nephren-Ka. All right, next one. This is a perfect cover for yellow. Judas Priest with Screaming for Vengeance. Yeah, that's my yellowest album cover ever. Yeah, and this is actually my favorite Judas Priest album of all time, if you weren't aware of that. Like, I just love the production, the songs on it. It's just, to me, it's the best. Yeah, so I don't need to say too much about this. You guys know it. Judas Priest with Screaming for Vengeance. Okay. And in yellow, I only have 3. It's funny, with some colors I have more than others, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Also, female metal fans showed this one, but since I have a small number of yellow album covers, I'm going to show it too. This is DOKKEN with Under Lock and Key. So again, classic LA heavy metal band, sort of lumped in with that hair metal, glam metal category. But yeah, it is a little bit more than that. Like, it's not something like Poison or Motley Crue, but I just love this band. Great atmosphere. I think they're really talented, like Don Dokken's vocals and George Lynch's guitaring. But like, the other members of the band, Jeff Pilson, Mick Brown, like every instrumentalist is a highlight of this band. So yeah, DOKKEN with Under Lock and Key. Okay, so I did vow not to go, you know, ramble on too much with this, so I'm actually doing quite well for time. Thanks for your patience. Okay, so now going into blue. First of all, starting with a CD. This is Cathedral with The Seventh Coming, and I really like this album cover. You know, they've always had this sort of kind of artistic theme with their albums, but yeah, classic UK doom metal with a psychedelic edge. And this album brings back a lot of memories when it first came out, in terms of where I was living, where I was studying, so great stuff. Cathedral with The Seventh Coming. Okay, now the rest of the blues are actually all vinyl, because I thought it's more interesting to show vinyl. So first of all, we have ANVIL with Forged in Fire. I spoke about this one recently too, like another classic album by this Canadian heavy metal band. So many great songs like Forged in Fire, Shadow Zone, Free as the Wind. Make It Up to You. Yeah. Oh, the whole album is killer, really. So, Anvil Forged in Fire. Okay, continuing with the blues. Ace Frehley with Frehley's Comet. Oh, it's funny, this band, it was created under the moniker... Ace Frehley. They called the album Frehley's Comet, but then later the band changed its name to Frehley's Comet. But, of course, Ace Frehley being the former Kiss lead guitarist, the spaceman, and he continued that, like, sort of cosmic space theme on this album. But, yeah, really like this stuff. If you like 80s heavy metal, glam metal, that kind of thing, you really like it. But it's unique. It's not like all of those really cheesy hair metal bands. It's something different, and I just love Ace Frehley's music, and every single album right up to his most recent ones. But this was his first solo one after Kiss, Frehley's Comet. Okay, continuing in the blue, how could I not show this? My favorite Accept album. It's sky blue, but what are you gonna do? Metal Heart, just classic German speed thrash metal. Sorry, yeah, speed or heavy metal. But yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. It was the first one I heard when I first discovered this band. And yeah, still love it. And I really like the color and the artwork on this too. So Accept with Metal Heart. All right, continuing with blue. Iron Maiden with No Prayer for the Dying. So for those of you who know me, I've always felt that this is a criminally underrated Maiden album. Love this iconic artwork too. Like my brother said, this is one of his favorite Eddie artworks. It is pretty cool, I have to admit. So this one and Fear of the Dark, I just feel they're underrated. But yeah, this is very much in the blue theme. So Iron Maiden with No Prayer for the Dying. Okay, and one more blue one to show. I actually shared this on Instagram the other day for people who follow my Instagram. This is Neptune Towers with Transmissions from Empire Algol. So if you're not familiar, Neptune Towers is a dark ambient project created by Fenris, most famously of Darkthrone, and basically it's eerie dark ambient with a space/cosmic/astral theme. But really great stuff, inspired by a lot of 70s electronic bands like Tangerine Dream. But this really, it takes you on a cosmic journey, like into the eerie blackness of space, and it's haunting, it's evil, brilliant. So Neptune Towers with Transmissions from Empire Algol. By the way, sorry about the glare. It's like, I'm worried that there's not going to be enough natural light, so I've turned this one on, but it just creates some shine sometimes. Okay, and last blue one. This is Mystifier with Wicca. So, classic cult underground album. If you're not familiar, Mystifier are a very old school Black Death heavy metal band. Sorry, a Black Death metal band from Brazil. Extremely brutal, lo-fi, but also some fantastic moments of atmosphere. So, if you like just that really sort of old school, early 90s, late 80s stuff, you're probably familiar with this anyway. But yeah, this is just one of those cult underground bands that has always held a legendary place in extreme metal. So that's Wicca by Mystifier. And I'll say that that's what my buddy Creepy Ghoul says. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go and check it out. He's a guy from Canada, and he shows, you know, metal music as well, but he's just really entertaining and hilarious, and I love his comic style. He reviews not just music, but also like horror collectibles, horror movies, posters. I've even seen him reviewing food like pizza pockets, but he's a hilarious guy, really entertaining. So go and check his channel out, Creepy Ghoul. So, all right. Okay, so coming up to green now. First of all, Arch Enemy with Burning Bridges, great melodic death metal from Sweden. This was before they had Angela as the vocalist, so it was still a male singer, Johan Lever, but I just love this album. This is very nostalgic for me. Some great songs on this, like The Immortal, Dead Inside, Demonic Science, Seed of Hate, fantastic. So if you like melodic death metal, you haven't checked this album out, don't even be fooled by later albums. If you think it's not your cup of tea, check this one out, Arch Enemy with Burning Bridges. Okay. And sorry guys if you think I'm talking too fast, I just don't want to waste too much of your valuable time, so just trying to be economical. Next, we have SCREAMFEEDER with Felicitator. So once again, very green. And yeah, as I mentioned, SCREAMFEEDER are an indie/alternative band from Australia. This is one of their best releases to me. Just a 5-track EP, but also good. So atmospheric, so emotional. Love it. So SCREAMFEEDER with Felicitator. Okay. And up next, this is PSUCHAGOGOI with Under a Green Light. So I've also mentioned this before. This is sort of nature-worshipping, dark ambient atmosphere music from the UK, created by one guy called Cryptogeist. But you see very green here, so if you just like dark atmospheric ambient music and you know that atmosphere of the forest and nature, I'd recommend this. And he's done a whole spate of brilliant releases. So PSUCHAGOGOI with Under a Green Light. Oh, and it has the word green in it too. Okay. Up next, for something different, still in green now, this is PSYFACTOR with Evil Inside. So I'm sure most people are not familiar with this. This is a genre of music I don't normally listen to. This is actually psytrance from Russia. So most people probably don't know this, but I don't mind some electronic music in certain contexts. And of all the styles of electronic music, the types that I didn't mind really were trance, especially psytrance. So this is just really evil sounding, warped, eerie stuff. So it's got that evil edge to it as well. But just yeah, see the alien on the back. I just love the theme and the concept for this. Also some great titles in this, like Shitty Bastards, Hellraver, Brain Destruction, Angry Goblin. Yeah, so really off-the-wall psytrance from Russia. PSYFACTOR with Evil Inside. Okay, just a couple more green ones. So we're almost there. So MOJO with Pigwalk. This is very green once again. So yeah, if you're not familiar, I'm sure most people are. MOJO is a crossover rap metal band from the USA. Not sure if they're around anymore, but as I've mentioned before, it's not the kind of music I'd normally listen to, but I really like this band because I think they had something unique and there was no one like them, just the energy levels and the heaviness. It was a bit like Rage Against the Machine crossed with Machine Head, so like Rage Against the Machine but more metal, and you know, they still had the rapping vocals and everything, but yep, very green as you can see. Some awesome songs on this, like Mental Meltdown, Here Comes the Monster, that song goes off. Also Twisted, Violated, yeah, brilliant stuff. So MOJO with Pigwalk. Okay, now one more green album in the series. Here is DIMMU BORGIR with Godless Savage Garden. So again, very green. I spoke about this recently in Black Metal Vinyl Volume 3. I got a dislike for that video. Maybe someone disliked it because I showed this. I don't know, because some people get so elitist about black metal. But as I've mentioned, I think that this band is just very musically talented. And if you can just focus on the music and not how many records a band sells, you might enjoy it more. So DIMMU BORGIR with Godless Savage Garden. Okay, now we're getting up to, so what have we gone through? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and now we're coming up to indigo and violet. So like I said, to me, they're just shades of purple. So just going to show those. So these are all purple related, basically. So first of all, Neptune Towers with Caravans to Empire Algol. So I've already mentioned Neptune Towers in this video. This was the first album. This one was a bit more dreamy and sort of enchanting, but I do prefer Transmissions because it's a lot more evil sounding. But yeah, Neptune Towers with Caravans to Empire Algol. And up next, 6 Feet Under with Alive and Dead. So again, very purple. Yeah, so this was the EP which came out after the debut album Haunted, when the band was in its very early stages, like Alan West was still in the band. So it was Chris Barnes, Alan West, Greg Gall, and Terry Butler. Yeah, but this is fantastic. Like, it's got the song Insect, which is awesome. Drowning has a great atmosphere. They also do a cover of Judas Priest's Grinder, and they have a few live tracks from the debut album, Suffering in Ecstasy, Human Target, Lycanthropy, and Beneath a Black Sky. Just great old school groove-driven death metal. 6 Feet Under, Alive and Dead. Okay, guys, I've shown a shitload today, but got through in record time. So up next, still continuing with purple related covers, this is Vargrav with Netherstorm. So in this shitty light, you probably can't see this very well, but it's kind of like a dark purple. Yeah, but if you're not familiar, I've spoken about this before. Vargrav is a symphonic atmospheric black metal band from Finland, very much inspired by old school Emperor, like In the Nightside Eclipse. So if you like that album, definitely check this one out. Hey, I could have shown that album, that was purple as well, but everyone knows that one. So yeah, and with this one, it's a color. It comes in a colored vinyl, like, and it also includes a mini disc. So I'll just show you. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, really like the color. Okay, and the last one. This is another Vargrav one. And would you say this is indigo or violet? I don't know, but look at that color, just amazing. So this is Vargrav with Reign in Supreme Darkness, which is the sophomore album, follow-up to Netherstorm, and just another brilliant masterpiece of atmospheric, symphonic, haunting black metal. So again, you like Emperor, check out Vargrav. I can't praise this band enough. They're just brilliant. All right, so guys, there we have it. The 6 or 7 colors of the rainbow, depending on how you classify them. But yeah, I showed quite a few albums there. Hopefully it didn't bore you too much. I just wanted to show the ones with the exciting colors and talk about them a little bit. Hopefully I didn't ramble on for too long. I think for my standards, probably not. But anyway, let me know what you thought of this video. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And also don't forget to comment and like if you enjoyed the video. I'd really appreciate it. So I'm coming back soon with some more videos from my existing collection. But yeah, that'll be quite soon. So in the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.